The emergency broadcast reached Earth Prime at 0347 hours, Galactic Standard Time. Admiral Marcus Rivera stood in the war room, his weathered face illuminated by the crimson glow of incoming priority signals. A holographic display materialized before him, showing the final moments of New Haven colony. The footage was devastating. Families running through burning streets. Children crying for parents who would never answer again. The distinctive plasma signatures of Korthak weaponry cutting through civilian structures like paper. 12 million human colonists dead in less than 6 hours. Confirmed total loss, sir, reported Colonel Sarah Kim, her voice tight with controlled rage. No survivors detected from New Haven. The Korthak Dominion broadcast this across 17 systems, as a warning. Rivera's jaw clenched as he watched the alien message that followed the massacre footage. High Commander Zalthek of the Korthak Dominion stood before the burning remains of New Haven's capital city, his forearms spread wide in a gesture of dominance. His insectoid features twisted into what passed for a smile among his species. Humans, the alien commander declared in perfect Earth standard, your expansion ends here. This colony violated the buffer zone accords. Consider this a demonstration of Korthak resolve. Withdraw from all disputed systems, or face total extinction. The transmission ended, leaving the war room in deadly silence. Rivera had served in 3 interstellar conflicts, but he had never seen anything like the systematic slaughter at New Haven. The colonists had been refugees, families seeking a new life on the edge of human space. They posed no military threat to anyone. "Admiral," came a voice from behind him. Fleet Commander Elena Vasquez approached, carrying a sealed datapad. "Terra Command has authorized Protocol Omega." Rivera turned slowly, his eyes reflecting the weight of command. Protocol Omega hadn't been activated in 2 centuries, not since the Centauri Wars. It represented humanity's ultimate military response, total mobilization. "All 600 colonial defense fleets," he asked quietly, "all of them, sir. Plus the reserve armadas, deep space patrol groups, and the mothballed legacy fleets. Total count, 500,000 combat vessels." The number hung in the air like a physical presence. 500,000 warships, the accumulated naval power of 300 years of human expansion across the galaxy. Ships ranging from nimble destroyers to kilometer-long dreadnoughts, each one crewed by beings who had just learned that their species had been pushed too far. Deployment timeline? 72 hours for full assembly at Staging Point Omega. The Korthak have 47 worlds across 12 systems. Terra Command wants them all. Rivera nodded grimly. The Korthak Dominion had been expanding aggressively for decades, bullying smaller species and claiming vast territories through intimidation and selective violence. They commanded perhaps 15,000 ships, a formidable force by any reasonable standard. But they had made a critical error in judgment. They had massacred human children. 48 hours later, the largest military armada in recorded galactic history began to move. The assembly at Staging Point Omega resembled a metallic solar system, concentric rings of warships stretching beyond visual range. At the center, the massive command vessel UES Vengeance coordinated the fleet's movements through quantum-encrypted channels. Admiral Rivera stood on the flagship's bridge, watching as formation after formation jumped to hyperspace. Each wave consisted of thousands of ships, their synchronized departure creating spectacular light displays as spacetime itself bent around their passage. "First wave has engaged the outer Korthak systems," reported Communications Officer Zhang. Admiral Peterson reports initial resistance was minimal. On the tactical display, red indicators marking Korthak forces began winking out with alarming speed. The aliens had prepared for a typical human response, perhaps a few dozen ships seeking retribution. Instead, they faced a tidal wave of coordinated military fury that swept away their defenses like a cosmic hurricane. High Commander Zalthek received the first reports while reviewing territorial expansion plans in his fortress on Korthak Prime. The initial numbers seemed impossible, thousands of human vessels appearing simultaneously across multiple star systems. His tactical officers recalculated repeatedly, convinced their sensors were malfunctioning. "Impossible," he clicked, his mandibles chattering in distress. Human naval capacity is well documented. They maintain fewer than 50,000 active vessels. Sir, his aide's carapace had paled to an unhealthy gray, were receiving surrender offers from the outer systems. Commander Telvar reports complete loss of the Third Fleet. The humans, they're not taking prisoners, sir. The truth struck Zelthek like a physical blow. Humanity hadn't been maintaining 50,000 active warships, they had been building them. For centuries, every colony, every system, every inhabited world had been constructing vessels and training crews. Not for conquest, but for protection. The humans had created a defensive military machine so vast that even they had underestimated its scope. How many ships, he whispered. Conservative estimates suggest 500,000 confirmed contacts. Possibly more. Zelthek's legs gave out. 500,000 warships, more than the combined fleets of every known galactic civilization. The humans hadn't been the peaceful expansion species the Korthak intelligence had described. They were a sleeping titan that his people had foolishly awakened. By the end of the third day, 12 Korthak systems had fallen. The human armada moved with clockwork precision, systematically dismantling every military installation, orbital platform, and defensive grid. They encountered. Civilian populations were evacuated to designated safe zones, but anything with weapons capability was utterly destroyed. Admiral Rivera received regular updates as his forces methodically worked through their target list. The operation had evolved beyond simple revenge, it was a demonstration to the entire galaxy. Humanity would no longer tolerate aggression against its citizens. Korthak prime defenses have been neutralized, reported Fleet Commander Vasquez. Their home system is completely surrounded. Zelthek is requesting terms. Rivera studied the tactical display showing the final Korthak stronghold surrounded by 20,000 human warships. The alien homeworld hung defenseless, its population of 6 billion awaiting their fate. Patch me through to their leadership. The communication channel opened, revealing High Commander Zelthek in what appeared to be a hastily constructed bunker. The proud alien conqueror looked broken, his once intimidating presence reduced to desperate pleading. Human Admiral, Zelthek began, we acknowledge our error. The attack on New Haven was unauthorized. We seek terms. Terms? Rivera's voice cut through the transmission like ice. You broadcast the murder of 12 million civilians as entertainment. You declared your intention to commit genocide against my species. What terms did you offer the children of New Haven? The alien commander's silence stretched for long moments before Rivera continued. The Korthak Dominion is hereby dissolved. Your military will be permanently disbanded. Your government will be restructured under Galactic Council oversight. And you will pay reparations for every human life lost at New Haven. And if we refuse? Rivera's expression remained unchanged. Look at your sensors, Zelthek. Count the ships surrounding your world. We could have glassed every Korthak planet from orbit, but we chose restraint. Don't mistake mercy for weakness. As the transmission ended, messages began flooding in from across the galaxy. Species that had cowered before Korthak aggression were celebrating. Diplomatic channels buzzed with requests for mutual defense pacts. The galactic balance of power had shifted permanently in a single week. Standing on the bridge of the UES Vengeance, surrounded by the largest war fleet in galactic history, Admiral Rivera allowed himself a moment of grim satisfaction. The children of New Haven had been avenged, and the galaxy had learned a valuable lesson. Humanity could be peaceful. They could be diplomatic. They could be reasonable. But they would never again be victims. The 500,000 ships began their journey home, leaving behind a galaxy that would never again underestimate the sleeping giant of Earth.